So all committee members are here except for Mr. Kamer. If I could get a motion for approval of our previous meeting minutes. Motion to approve. I need a second.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Can we get some ayes? Okay. We have two pieces before us today. The first one is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service or his designee, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts for the construction of citywide sidewalks 2020 and declaring an emergency. Mr. Leto?
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. This is our annual sidewalk replacement program. So this allows residents to send in a request to engineering. We go out and do an assessment, and if the damage to the sidewalk is done by a tree, they are not charged. If it's just normal wear and tear on the sidewalk, then we will assess them $25.25 per slab. So we are also in this current budget, we are going to put $50,000 of this budget into repairing sidewalks around community centers and city parks for the ADA accessible ramps.
Okay. So is this just for sidewalks, or are sewers included in this, or is that just with when you're
just
doing?
Sidewalks.
Just sidewalks? Okay.
Yes.
Any questions from committee members? Mr. Lombardo?
Yes, Mr. Ludlow, so you mentioned that if the tree has done damage to the sidewalk, they wouldn't be charged for it.
The resident, correct?
Yeah, the resident would be charged. And then what they would have to do is request through like 311?
Yes.
To the engineering department?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any limit to their house frontage there?
No. So, for example, if the sidewalk was damaged due to a tree,
yes,
the way it would work, we would go out and do an assessment. Now, let's say the house is 100 years old and the sidewalks adjacent to that slab were damaged. We would remove the tree, we would replace that sidewalk slab or two at no cost to the resident. Now, if they wanted two more replaced, we would add those in. So if there was two additional slabs, and let's just say slab's about 5 foot, that'd be 10 feet, it would cost them another $250. We would put it on their taxes over a period of 5 years.
Period of 5 years.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Or they could pay it without putting on their taxes.
Sure. And they, will they get a new tree, a smaller tree?
We would replant the tree, yes.
If they want, okay.
It wouldn't happen this year, but we would replant the tree.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from committee members? Council? What's your pleasure?
Consent's fine.
Can I get a motion for consent?
I make a motion for consent.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next piece, ordinance authorizing Director of Public Service or his designee, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract for the replacement of the hot water boiler at Wall Street Community Center and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the committee. This system is 26 years old. It is a hot water boiler with a 500-gallon storage tank, and it is for just the domestic water for the showers and hand sinks of the restrooms, not only the restrooms, but the locker rooms. So this does not serve the kitchen, this hot water system. We looked at this system, and with engineering and with our partners at Akron Energy Systems, we did an assessment of how many shower heads, how many hand sinks, and we found that this system was grossly oversized. So to save efficiency, we're asking for this to be bid, and we're looking to bid 200-gallon high-efficiency commercial hot water tanks. So currently what happens is, when there's a demand for hot water, that boiler comes on, it's got to heat that 500 gallons. Well, when there's no one using the showers, that hot water is just sitting there. As it cools down, it's got to reheat. The tank wasn't even insulated. So obviously it would heat up, cool down, which cost a lot of natural gas to be used. So with the two high-efficiency hot water tanks, which are also high-recovery tanks, we'll be able to save money not only on the installation, but also on the operations moving forward.
Okay. Any questions from committee members? Any questions from council? Mr. Neal and Mr. Swirsky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Luttle. And this is just a general question. Probably have to get the answer later. I know we've put a new roof on Balk Street. We've done some other major repairs. I don't know if we have a projection on what else needs to be done in comparison to possibly even a new site or upgrading as we look at our park and rec facilities and compare them to our neighboring communities. So like I said, I don't expect you to have the answer now, but if we can get an idea, a summary of what we put in there to this point, and then what we project we may have to put in future costs.
Sure, I'll get that for you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Swirsky?
I just want to commend you for due diligence on maintaining this facility. A lot of people right now use it, depend on it, are it's a great service that we provide, and thank all the people who have figured out a way to reduce the costs and still maintain the service.
Well, thank you.
What's your pleasure, Mr. Luttle?
Consent's fine.
Okay, can I get a motion for consent?
I make a motion for consent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. If nothing else is coming before us, we are adjourned.